Today, I wanted to talk about being in a relationship. If you're young right now, you might want to be in one. Maybe because you want somebody to care for, maybe because you want somebody to care for you, maybe you just want the ability to say that you have a significant other. I don't know, whatever your reason is, this video is for you. I'm just gonna say it right at the beginning. This is the most important thing. Being in a relationship is tough. It's not all sunshine and rainbows like you see in movies or shows. It takes work to be in a good relationship where you feel like the other person is your other half and you're, a team. There will be times when you disagree, there will be times when you fight, but there will also be times when, you laugh and everything seems like it's going very well. I'd say the first and most important thing when it comes to being in a relationship is ironically not being in a relationship. I don't think you should be striving to be in a relationship. That sounded terrible, so let me rephrase. I don't think you should be putting yourself out there to be in a relationship just because you want to be in one. You should be in one when you're ready. You shouldn't be in one just because you want somebody to come home to, or just because you want somebody to engage in intimate activities with. You should be in a relationship because you want to build something with someone and your values and interests somewhat align. So I would say that's probably the most important thing. I should also say that this video is not going to show you how to get into a relationship. This video is just showing you some of the things that you should know for when you do. I'm not here to sell you a course, and I will never be selling you a course. A very important thing about being in a relationship is communication. Communication can be the difference between being in a relationship that you hate and being in one that you love. I'll give you an example. After my mom died, I was seeing my girl every day, 7 days a week for about 4 to 5 hours a day. I was still grieving, so like I said before, I was kind of leaning on her in that situation. Anyway, to make a long story short, I wanted to focus on making videos at the time because if I remember correctly, I wanted to have a couple days to myself, like right after I started this channel, and I felt like I was in the right mental state where I could be home alone and make videos and other things like that. So that's when I sat her down and I told her, you know what, I want 2 to 3 days per week to be able to stay home in the evenings, work on videos. And she said, yeah, that's a good idea, because she also felt like us seeing each other every day was getting a little overbearing, or it was becoming overbearing. And so we came to a mutual agreement that for 2 to 3 days out of the week, we would stay home and work on our own endeavors. Speaking of agreements, you and your partner will not always see eye to eye. Like I said before, there will be times when you agree and times when you disagree, but the important thing is that you take the time to communicate and come to a compromise. Remember that you're two different people and everyone isn't gonna like the stuff that you like. For example, my girl loves olives and I hate olives. I just think they're weird. So I won't eat her olives if she leaves any in the fridge. She's not really a chocolate kind of person. I love chocolate. That's where the balance is. But without trying to make you feel hungry or anything like that, remember that communicating your problems and issues is a very good way to get past them together. If you have an issue, sit down with your partner and just get all the feelings off your chest. I always tell my girl that I'm not a mind reader, and she can verify that. I can't know what's going on in your head. I'm not WandaVision. If you have something on your mind, tell me so that we can work together to solve the issue. And just like I tell my girl that I'm not a mind reader, she expects the same of me also. It's better to conquer the problems together because one, then both people are on the same page, and two, you feel more connected because you tackled and solve that problem together, if that makes sense. The next thing I wanted to touch on was the concept of permission. And I hate to use that word because I don't feel like anyone in their relationships own the next person, right? I'm my own person, my girl is her own person, and we work together in unison to accomplish certain things. There are times when, yes, maybe we've had previous plans, so I won't be able to see my friends this weekend, but my girl never tells me, oh, you can't see your friends, and I don't tell her that either. If she wants to see her friends, what we do is we mostly sit down on Sunday and we ask each other what we have to do for the week. If I tell her my friends are coming over on Friday, then she knows she won't see me that day. If she's going to get her nails done on Wednesday, then I know I probably won't see her that day. Again, it all comes back to communication. Staying on the concept of communication though, I wanted to talk about boundaries. These are things that, you have to answer for yourself. I can't answer them for you, but you have to think about how it's gonna be when it comes to boundaries. Like, are you okay with your partner using your phone? Are you okay with your partner knowing your bank passwords? Are you okay with them sleeping over? Are they okay with those things? These are things that you're gonna have to sit down and talk to them about. Say you have no problem with them using your phone, but you're not at the bank password talk yet, then you sit them down and you say, hey, you know what? I don't mind you using my phone, but when it comes to my bank passwords and my finances, I'm not comfortable with sharing those things with you just yet. And I'm not saying it's not gonna be never, but for the time being. Most of the time they'll be okay with it, and if they're not, I think you should have a sit down and actually put some thought into your relationship with this person, because if you're respecting their boundaries and they can't respect yours, then there's a power imbalance there, and that has to be addressed. But forget all this power imbalance stuff. I wanted to talk a bit about finances. I wanted to talk about finances because of the top 10 reasons that people get divorced in North America, money problems are routinely in the top 5. This might be due to people not making enough money. People might be spending their money unwisely. Maybe they're gambling away their kids' college fund. I don't know, but I think being on the same page, especially when it comes to finances, is a really important thing. It allows you to save for a house or get married, or maybe you have a thing for cars and you just want to buy this vintage one that you saw. If you go and buy the car before consulting your partner, I would say you overstepped a boundary. I'm not saying that you have to call them and ask them to buy a box of cereal at the store, but if you're buying something big, like a car or something like that, I would say it's good practice to just keep them in the loop. Really quick though, I just wanted to talk about 2 things before I end the video. And it's the fact that I don't think you should be putting in all the effort in the relationship, and your partner shouldn't be doing that either. It's a two-way street. You also shouldn't be trying to one-up them. If you're making more money than them, then that's great. I hope you're using that money to pay off your house and put some away for your kids and retirement and other things like that. If your partner is making more, then that's okay too. Hopefully they're being smart with it and they're trying to help you with your job situation also. You also shouldn't look at your relationships as transactions. Just because you buy your partner $300 shoes for their birthday doesn't mean that you should now expect something worth $300. It doesn't work that way. It's not a gift exchange. It's, I bought you this for your birthday and I hope you like it. And it should be the other way around too. Like I said, a two-way street. At the end of the day, like I said, relationships can be very rewarding. You both start out not knowing each other, and then you start talking and you take it a step further. Maybe you get married after a while, you buy a house, you have kids, and then you sit down one day and you look back from where you started and you get this warm fuzzy feeling. My girl and I do that. We look back on old pictures and stuff. Either way, if there's 2 things that you take away from this video, let it be that communication is probably the most important thing. And just let the chips fall where they do. Don't force things, don't rush things. Just let the relationship happen, and if it's meant to, it'll last. And as always, thanks for watching.